All rise. First District Court of Appeals now in ceremonial session. All who have business before this court draw near, give attention, and you shall be heard. May God save these United States, the great state of Florida, and this honorable court.
Okay, please be seated. Good afternoon. My name is Lori Rowe, and it's my great honor to welcome you to the First District Court of Appeal for this induction ceremony for new members of the Florida Bar. Days like this hold great importance. To the family, friends, mentors, many of whom are in this audience today, you have enthusiastically supported these candidates over the years and sacrificed, encouraged, probably held hands, sometimes cried with them. Thank you for being here to mark this occasion. To the inductees, we recognize your diligence, your perseverance, and your sacrifice. Law school and the bar exam aren't easy, and to make it to this day is an achievement. To my fellow judges, this is one of those occasions where we get to remember what is good and what is noble about our profession, to consider soberly our own oaths to the constitutions of the state of Florida and United States, to remember our obligations to our fellow citizens, and then to be encouraged by the passion and zeal of these new members of the Florida Bar. On behalf of the First DCA, we offer our heartfelt congratulations to each of you. The law is a noble calling. Your clients will place their trust in you and at times their life and liberty. This is a profession to enter into soberly, diligently, and humbly. And to mark that entry, you will take an oath today to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Florida. The principles on which that oath is based are time-tested, and they are the core principles of our profession and our system of justice. They include respect for the rule of law, diligence, truth, civility, honesty, integrity, and fair dealing. In fulfilling my own oath as lawyer and a judge, I often look to wisdom and inspiration from those who went before me. And I share with you today words from a prayer composed by the former Chief Justice of the Wisconsin Supreme Court in the 1800s. I've considered it often, and I commend it to each of you. Perform your work with a due sense of humility. Be gracious to others. Don't be misled by willfulness, vanity, or your own ego. Seek to hear patiently, to consider diligently, to understand rightly, and to decide and advise justly. As you take your oath today, commit yourselves to being good stewards of justice, fierce advocates of the rule of law, and faithful representatives of the legal profession. After you take the oath, you will leave this courtroom to enter the community as a member of the Florida Bar and as a lawyer. Congratulations once more on that achievement, and as you begin your work as attorneys and members of the bar, we wish you Godspeed. It is now my great honor to recognize Melissa Van Sickle, a member of the Florida Bar Board of Governors, who will make remarks on behalf of the Florida Bar.
Thank you, Chief Judge Rowe, members of the court. And good afternoon, distinguished guests, family and friends, and my new colleagues. I am honored to welcome each of you, the latest members of our noble profession, on behalf of the over 110,000 members of the Florida Bar and the Florida Bar Board of Governors. So congratulations. You are now on the precipice of great change. This moment signifies a turning point in your professional career. I know the journey has not been easy. This is the culmination of hard work and a series of deliberate choices. Choices that may have been difficult, but choices that I encourage you to continue to keep making. Above all, these choices are a striking testament to your resilience and commitment to achievement. These choices represent who you are and who you have the potential to become. As you enter this increasingly competitive profession, you'll be met with great responsibility, which must not be taken lightly. It will be up to you to honor our creed of professionalism with respect. Remember to always use your voice and actions to promote justice and fairness. You are now tasked with helping our fellow citizens access and uphold our system of laws. As you begin your careers, I encourage you to pour your energy into organizations that offer networking, fellowship, and leadership opportunities. I know this will require deliberate attention because you have work and family obligations. But I also know firsthand that you will reap the benefits of your dedication. Remember that fulfillment is derived from more than just personal accomplishment. You may find that there's joy in reaching outside of yourself to provide service to your community. In my experience, this is worth prioritizing, and it will add layers of meaning to your life. Never forget that you have earned the privilege of becoming a lawyer. You should uphold this privilege with grace and professionalism, and remember that you are representing a community of great thinkers. Finally, allow yourself to feel excited. You have reached a great pinnacle in your legal education. At the beginning of this speech, I said that you are here because of a series of choices. And as you progress as lawyers, you'll continue to be faced with them. I encourage you to choose to be selfless and altruistic, to choose to get involved when granted the opportunity, to choose growth over complacency, to choose integrity and strength, to choose leadership, but also humility. I am certain that if you continue to make these good choices, you will achieve great success. So, on behalf of the Florida Bar and the Florida Bar Board of Governors, welcome. Your journey is just beginning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Van Sickle. It is now my great honor to recognize Judge Adam Tannenbaum to welcome the inductees on behalf of the First District Court of Appeal.
Good afternoon. Congratulations on passing the bar exam and qualifying for admission to the Florida Bar. In the few minutes I have with you, I wish to focus your attention on the nearly sacred duty you voluntarily take on with the solemn status change that takes place upon your oath today. If you haven't already, I suspect many of you, upon your debut as bar members, plan to add on business cards, plaques, signage, and websites, and in your email signature block, the following words under your name: Attorney at Law. Now, I am a lover of language, so I went back and looked up what attorney meant and what its origins were. And attorney by itself has at its root an Anglo-French Latin term that roughly translates to the past participle of designated. Standing alone, the term can refer to anyone designated with no special qualification to act on behalf of another, like the attorney-in-fact relationship created with a power of attorney grant. Not so with an attorney at law. To be qualified to serve as an attorney at law is something special indeed. Only a person certified by authority of the Florida Supreme Court to have the education, training, character, and reputation that each of you possesses may serve as one of these in this state. This is the case because only a highly qualified person, like each of you, may serve as an officer of the court and thereby stand up in open court on behalf of another and argue his or her cause. Only such a highly qualified person, like each of you, may counsel and give advice to someone else on the impact of the law on business transactions crucial to another's livelihood. With this status change, you will be different evermore. By definition, engagement as an attorney at law presumes the existence of a client, the individual or entity that has designated you to serve in that person's stead as an advocate, a term that has at its root one that means to summon or call to one's aid. There is nothing else in society like this relationship between attorney and client. Your client's life, livelihood, or liberty will turn on what you do in the courtroom or at the table in a boardroom. In this role, duty calls you to bring everything you have, all your energy, all the tools, expertise, creativity, skills, and cunning at your disposal in service to and in aid of your client. In the moment when you are the attorney at law for a particular client, there are no other clients for you, because in the eyes of the client, there is no other case but his. What does it mean to give everything for the client? It means to sacrifice your own interests and personality. It means to advance every debatable argument, including novel ones and even ones that involve explaining why the courts interpreted or applied the law incorrectly, if doing so is in good faith and necessary to advance the interests of your client. It means being fearless, creative, being willing to work midnights to find the right answer, being willing to push boundaries and challenge norms, to question everything, to speak now, not later, for your client when justice requires, to not accept the premises of your opponent or the court if you have an honestly better reading of the law to the contrary, to be unafraid of what others may think or say about you because of the arguments you must, out of duty, make on behalf of your client's cause, and to not tailor your arguments to avoid causing your opponent to see red. I've dreamt of being a lawyer since before I graduated high school in 1989, and I can tell you from experience that this approach is difficult and exhausting. It can be uncomfortable and isolating. There may be times you are mocked by your opposing counsel or by the judge. You may be shunned, and there will be gut-wrenching defeats. But you do it all, and you do it again, with vigor and passion and glee and swiftness, because this is your calling, this is your profession, and this is what it demands. Before I close, I give you an oft-repeated quotation from defense counsel folklore. It's a quotation of Henry Lord Brougham, the most respected lawyer in England in the 19th century. He defended Queen Caroline in the House of Lords after King George IV forced the government to consider a bill that would grant a divorce and take away any rights or title from Caroline as queen. In response to the king's presentation of shaky and scurrilous evidence of adulterous liaisons on the part of Caroline, Brougham invoked the right of recrimination, which would allow him to present evidence of the king's many affairs and secret marriage to a commoner. Brougham was warned against doing this because the revelations threatened a constitutional crisis that could topple the king and the government and embarrass the whole of England. In response, this is what Lord Brougham said: "An advocate by the sacred duty of his connection with his client, knows in the discharge of that office but one person in the whole world, that client, and none other. To save that client by all expedient means, to protect that client at all hazards and costs, to all others, and among others to himself, is the highest and most unquestionable of his duties. And he must not regard the alarm, the suffering, the torment, the destruction which he may bring upon any other. Nay, separating even the duties of a patriot from those of an advocate, he must go on reckless of the consequences if it unhappily be his fate to involve his country in confusion for his client's protection. With your oath here today, you declare publicly that you willingly accept this awesome burden as an attorney at law. Yes, you commit yourself to being truthful, honorable, fair, and civil to judges, to your opposing counsel, and to your client. But within the boundaries of these ethical obligations, you commit yourself to performing your duty to your client in the manner I have described here. You affirm that as an officer of the court, you will make these sacrifices of self for the cause of your client, and that you will do so in service to the interests of justice for the citizens of this great state. Congratulations again.
Thank you, Judge Tannenbaum, for those inspiring and profound words. It's my great pleasure now to call upon Kelly Kibbe Smith, Governor of the Second Circuit, Florida Bar, Board of Governors, Young Lawyers Division.
Chief Judge Rowe, honorable members of the court, and may it please the court. It is an honor to stand before you today representing over 26,000 members of the Young Lawyers Division of the Florida Bar to welcome you, our newest members, to this noble profession. Almost 10 years ago, when I took the Florida bar exam, I taped a note to my computer monitor with a motivational quote from my favorite president. When Teddy Roosevelt ran to be governor of New York in 1898, he said, "We must dare to be great, and we must realize that greatness is the fruit of toil, sacrifice, and high courage." I love the verbiage. I, too, am a lover of language. We must dare to be great. I had never been so afraid to fail. Of course, Theodore Roosevelt dared to fight in the Spanish-American War, and I was merely taking a standardized test. Regardless, setting out to be an attorney at law really does feel a bit like a dare. It takes toil, sacrifice, and high courage to become a lawyer. First, there's the LSAT, then oral arguments, exams, internships, upper-level writing papers, the MPRE, and eventually the grueling bar exam. And there's a curve. Not everyone makes it to the finish line, but you all did. Being an attorney is no small feat, but neither is being an attorney. You are about to step into your role as a trustee of our republic. Finding your place within the bar and hitting your stride as a new attorney can be challenging. This is where the Young Lawyers Division comes in to support you. All Florida bar members under the age of 36 or in their first 5 years of practice are automatically members of the Young Lawyers Division, or the YLD as we call it. That makes all of you our newest members, and we're thrilled that you're joining us. You're probably wondering, what does this YLD do? Well, the YLD is the workhorse of the Florida bar, and we work the hardest for you, our members, by educating, serving, and advocating for Florida's young lawyers. The YLD advocates for its members by bringing important issues that directly impact young lawyers to the forefront, from mental health awareness campaigns to publishing a guide to parental leave to hosting government lawyers summits. President Iris Elijah and President-elect Anisha Patel also sit on the big board with Governor Van Sickle, who you just heard from, to ensure that young lawyers are represented within all Florida bar programming. The YLD educates its members by producing all of the basic CLEs that young lawyers, including all of you, are required to take in your first 3 years of practice, such as the Practicing with Professionalism CLE that some of you might be registered to take virtually on May 25th. We also produce free webinars that you can attend live or watch on demand on our website that mostly focus on career development, mental health, and financial fitness. Lastly, the YLD serves young lawyers. Every year in January or February, the YLD hosts its affiliate outreach conference, where local bar leaders come together from all around the state in one place to share ideas on community outreach programs for young lawyers. This year we met in Jacksonville, and we awarded approximately $50,000 in grants to these affiliates. allowing them to administer important and impactful programs at the local level. We've also established a council of affiliates to facilitate the year-round exchange of ideas and collaborations between our affiliates. For those of you who are staying in Tallahassee, we have Young Lawyers Division affiliates within the Tallahassee Bar Association, the Florida Government Bar Association, and Tallahassee Women Lawyers. These affiliates typically meet at least once a month. You can find your local affiliates and learn how to get involved by visiting our website at flayld.org. Please feel free to reach out to me or your local circuit rep at any time. I'm sure that you all kind of feel like you're crossing a finish line today. And you are, but the laws, rules, and precedent that you've studied in law school will change. The laws will keep evolving, and so should you. If you're not challenging yourself to continue learning your subject area, you're probably not growing. Now, in your first few years of practice, you will be challenged a lot. You will grow and learn a lot. But a few years down the road, you might find that you're comfortable or things maybe have gotten a bit easy and you're growing complacent. That's your cue to make a change and dare to challenge yourself. They probably haven't told you this yet, but when you've practiced for around 5 years in a certain subject area of law, you can apply for Florida Bar Board certification. First, your peers are questioned as to your qualifications, and if they find your character to be fit, then you're eligible to take another grueling exam, just like the bar exam. I'm taking the health law certification exam next week, and I have that same Theodore Roosevelt quote taped up to my computer, but I seem to have forgotten how to study, whereas I'm hoping it's a little fresher for you all. I'm not saying that we all need to take standardized tests in order to be great. There are many different ways to evolve into a stronger attorney. There will always be something that you can work towards in your practice, whether it's a credential, a milestone, giving a presentation, writing an article, or taking on a leadership position in your firm, agency, or office. At the end of the day, your success as an attorney will be contingent on your work ethic. Greatness is the fruit of toil, sacrifice, and high courage. Congratulations to all of you who have indeed dared to be great. Welcome to the Florida Bar.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Each year, the court selects a candidate who has excelled on the bar examination to make remarks on behalf of the new inductees. This is indeed a special part of the ceremony, and it is now my privilege to recognize Amanda Valter to deliver remarks.
Good afternoon, members of the court, fellow bar inductees, family, and friends. I'm honored to be here with you today for this incredibly special occasion. First, I want to address our family and friends that are here today. From all of us, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being our biggest cheerleaders, our shoulders to cry on, our strongest support. Thank you for making sure that we didn't forget to eat during late nights of studying, and for the endless patience you've shown when we burst into tears seemingly for no reason, had random bouts of rage, or gone MIA for weeks at a time. For keeping us going when we were sure we wouldn't make it one more day. We would not be here without your love, guidance, and unwavering support. I know there are likely some of you here that are licensed attorneys who have a good understanding of the rigor of law school and bar study. Others of you may be less familiar with the level of intense study, memorization, and overall stress that comes with being a law student. Whatever your personal experience may be, there are very few of us in this room who have experienced what it is like to go to law school, to go through the extensive process of becoming a licensed attorney during a global pandemic. So to my fellow inductees, I also want to say congratulations. Against all odds, you did it. I know that we all had moments over the past few years where we felt like giving up, when we felt like we made the wrong decision, when we felt like we had no idea what we were doing. But if you're here, that means you pushed through. You should all be incredibly proud of the hard work that you put in to get to this moment, and please know that it was worth it. If you're anything like me, I'm sure that you've learned a lot in the past few years, and I'm not talking about the rule against perpetuities, the Uniform Commercial Code, or how to correctly write a Blue Book citation. Yes, I've learned better time management, I've honed my critical thinking skills, and I no longer get crippling anxiety when I have to speak to a room full of people. But I've also learned that I have to take care of myself before I can take care of anyone else. I've learned that it's okay to say, I don't know, or I need help. And I've learned that I'm capable of more than I ever imagined. As we leave this stage of our lives behind, let's be grateful for the lessons we've learned that will aid us in our careers and our lives. This is a turning point in our lives. From this day forward, you will be a member of a profession that strives for equality, justice, and the highest moral standards. You will be responsible not only for yourself and your family, but also for the welfare of all those you represent. And it's not going to be easy. There are going to be moments when you feel like giving up, when you feel like you've made the wrong decision, and when you feel like you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. In those moments, I want you to remember today. I want you to remember your excitement, but I also want you to remember that you can do hard things. You have incredible power, and the possibilities are endless. Use that power to do good, use that power to enact change, and use that power to reach your biggest dreams. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Walter, for your outstanding remarks, and again, congratulations on your excellent performance on the bar exam. The court now calls upon Brandice D. Dixon, member of the Florida Bar Board of Bar Examiners, to present the candidates and move for their admission to the Florida Bar.
May it please the court. Pursuant to the rules of the Supreme Court relating to admissions to the bar, the candidates before you have been rigorously examined by the board, both as to knowledge of the law and understanding of the standards and ideals of the legal profession. In addition, their backgrounds have been subjected to searching character and fitness investigations. On behalf of the Florida Board of Bar Examiners, I certify that these candidates are fully qualified and that each enjoys the enthusiastic recommendation of the board for admission to the Bar of Florida. As your name is called, please stand and remain standing. Joseph Call. Joshua Cardozi. Sarah Curitin. Daniel Doze. Carly Fulp. John Madigan. Michaelia Robinson. Jacqueline Schlick. Christopher Talcott. Oliver Thomas. Amanda Volter. And Kate Wedmeyer. On behalf of the board, I move these candidates be admitted to the Florida Bar.
Thank you, Ms. Dixon. We accept the motion and the court grants it. Please remain standing. We will now turn to the administration of the oath of admission. For all of the inductees, please raise your right hand and repeat after me as I read the oath. I do solemnly swear. I will support the Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the State of Florida. I will maintain the respect. Due to courts of justice and judicial officers. I will not counsel or maintain. Any suit or proceedings. Which shall appear to me to be unjust. Nor any defense except such. As I believe to be honestly. Debatable under the law of the land. I will employ for the purpose of maintaining. The causes confided to me. Such means only. As are consistent with truth and honor. And will never seek to mislead the judge or jury. By any artifice. Or false statement of fact or law. I will maintain the confidence. And preserve inviolate. The secrets of my clients. And accept no compensation. In connection with their business. Except from them. Or with their knowledge and approval. To opposing parties and their counsel. I pledge fairness, integrity, and civility. Not only in court, but also in all written and oral communications. I will abstain from all offensive personality. And advance no fact prejudicial. To the honor or reputation. Of a party or witness. Unless required by the justice of the cause. With which I am charged. I will never reject. From any consideration personal to myself. The cause of the defenseless or oppressed. Or delay anyone's cause. For lucre or malice. So help me God. Congratulations. You are all now members of the bar. We offer you our congratulations as you begin your career. Let's give them all a round of applause. And you may be seated. May each of you ever be faithful to this solemn oath that you have just sworn. We hope that this new journey in the legal profession is as interesting, challenging, inspiring, and as rewarding as we all pray for you. If you remain in the well for just a few minutes, we will take a group photo of the new inductees, and the court will adjourn, but we'll come back to take the photos. And then, of course, if families would like to take pictures with the inductees, you're welcome to do so, and we will have coffee in the rotunda. The court is now adjourned.
All rise.
We scoot over about, yeah, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Big smile. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Guess you can get closer if you want.
Big smile, everybody.
Okay, well, we have a little official business to do. The inductees, if you haven't already had your oath signed, we're going to go into the attorney lounge just to the left of the exit, and our clerk will stamp your oath. And others, if you've already signed the oath, you may stay here and take pictures in the well. Thanks. I'll go do the signing.
Whatever you need. The rest of you are welcome to take pictures. Oh, 3 minutes. Whenever you're speaking. How do you feel? Was it all worth it? All the college Do you guys take another exam? No, if I want to. Oh, you're waiting for certification. But I'm still waiting for Okay.